Hey friend, are you asking yourself, is this what I really want to be doing with my life? I don't think so. I think there's something else that I'm meant to be doing. Welcome to the Painting Your Path podcast, where we have real conversations about what it takes to step out, be bold, and do you. I'm your host, Castillo-Ramsey. Let's dive in.
Hey friends, welcome back to the Painting Your Path podcast. I'm your host, Castillo-Ramsey, and I took a pause last week because straight up, I just needed a break, but I'm happy to be back with you today, and this week's episode is about something I talk about often with my clients, but I don't always talk about for myself. And that's about visibility. And before anyone starts imagining social media strategies, algorithms, or putting yourself out there, that's not entirely what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of visibility that happens when we stop hiding parts of ourselves. The kind of visibility that asks, what if I let people see the real me? What if I shared the thing I've been keeping tucked away? What if I stopped waiting until I felt completely ready? And this topic has been on my mind because I recently participated in the Sierra Madre Summer Art Walk with some friends of mine. And if you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know that I describe myself as an artist. I've done many art shows, and here's what I don't always talk about. Putting my artwork in front of people sometimes scares the shit out of me, and it stretches me. It's vulnerable. People walk by. Some people stop. Some people don't. And when they do, I'm gonna admit this. I have a canned spiel. Welcome to my art world. I'm the artist. My name is Clarissa. And if you have any questions, please ask away. And then I disappear. I don't describe myself as an extrovert. So when someone enters my art space, I'm not all up in their Cheerios. I let them be. However, what I truly want is connection. And that is where I get to stretch. This art show this past weekend was my third art show this month. And I tried something different. I started asking passerbys questions. How did you hear about this event? Do you live in the area? Where'd you get that cup of wine? And after I did that a couple of times, I felt the energy shift within me. And I noticed more and more people stopping by my art space. And people started talking about my work. I heard comments like, "Your art is so expressive. I love the colors. how did you do that? And that got me feeling more engaged and more comfortable. And here's another thing. I wasn't sure what pieces to bring because I have a couple of different collections and styles. One of the pieces I brought to the show was inspired by my spasmodic dysphonia journey. And I almost didn't bring it. Part of me wondered if anyone would relate to it, if it was too personal, too different from the other art pieces that I brought. But I brought it anyway. And towards the end of the art show, as I was literally taking down my booth, a woman and her young daughter stopped by. And I actually had a nice chat with her daughter earlier. The mother thanked me for taking time to connect with her daughter. And she looked at that painting that was full of scribbles. My spasmodic dysphonia art piece. She picked it up and said, "This is speaking to me. You guys, I nearly had a breakdown." And I could feel tears starting to well up because this was a part of me that I wanted to hide. And we started talking, and I shared even more about the piece, how it came from frustration, how it came from grief, how it was actually a haiku that I wrote, and how it came from wanting to move through difficult emotions instead of staying stuck in them. I talked to her about what the bright background represented, and what struck me was this: that conversation would have never happened if I had left the painting at home. The connection only happened because I was willing to be seen. And that's what I want to invite you to consider today. Where are you still hiding? Not because you're lazy, not because you're incapable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because visibility feels vulnerable. Maybe it's a creative project sitting in a drawer. Maybe it's the conversation you need to have. Perhaps it's the version of yourself that's quietly trying to emerge. And one of the things I've learned through painting your path is that becoming isn't about arriving somewhere. It's about continually saying yes to the brave next step. And visibility is often one of those steps. And not visibility for attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. But visibility for connection, expression. Visibility because the thing you're carrying may be exactly what someone else needs to see. The truth is, we don't get to control the outcome. That's a lesson I'm continuing to learn over and over again. new level, new devil, and we don't know who will resonate with us. We don't know what opportunities will emerge. We don't know what conversations are waiting on the other side. But we do get to choose whether we stay hidden. So this week, I'd love for you to ask yourself, where am I making myself smaller than I need to? What part of me is asking to be seen? And what's one small, brave act of visibility I can take this week? Because becoming isn't something that happens someday. It's happening right now. One brave step at a time. And perhaps the next step is simply allowing yourself to be seen. And before we wrap up, I want to let you know that I'm going to launch a virtual retreat called the Becoming Experience, happening July 13th through 15th. This is a free 3-day experience designed for women who feel called toward that next thing, but aren't quite sure how to get there. We'll explore mindset, embodiment, creativity, purpose, and the courage it takes to become the person you know you're meant to be. So if you'd like to join us, head on over to the show notes and add your name to the wait list. I'll personally let you know when registration opens. And there's no cost to attend. So that's it. Think about your relationship with being visible. And until next time, keep painting your path.
Thank you so much for staying till the very end. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend. If you haven't had a chance yet, please write a review and rate the show. I would love to hear your feedback. And I also have a free resource guide for anybody who is asking themselves, am I on the right path for myself now? Or is there something else that I really want to do? Maybe you're in that quandary. Maybe you're wondering what's next. So head over to the show notes and you'll see my Painting Your Path framework guide. Download it and have some fun. Just start exploring. And thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next week.